Hi, Hi, Sarfaraz. How you doing?
Hi, good evening, Adam. I'm very good. Thank you for
Good, good,
asking. How are
good,
you?
good, good. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Just enjoying the weather at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say it's a pleasure to for the first time be able to speak face to face with you. Via
Yes,
this.
and we've done a good amount of podcasts. We were aware of each other's voice. Now we are live on a video call, and we want people to relate to this, and at least
Yeah, yeah,
understand what kind of message we want to put through, and maybe there will be a lot of people who can connect to us, and because we have
mm,
amazing subjects like we always do, and
yeah, yeah. Of
the
course.
momentum is pretty high this time because we can see each other, people can see us. Earlier
Yeah,
they could just
yeah,
hear us. Now
mm,
it's about how vocal we are and how much we can relate to them on the video call. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's it.
uh, see, Adam, it's a very nice Sunday here. The monsoon has been pretty good. As usual, the rain is good, and
Yeah,
we are pepped up to go out and start our work. But as usual, the pandemic is not stopping, and
yeah.
today we have this, a celebrity in Bollywood, Mr.
I like.
Amitabh Bachchan, who,
Mm,
who's got coronavirus, and he's positive, and his son is positive, and his granddaughter is positive, which is a
jeez.
very bad news for the celebrity in the Bollywood industry.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, isn't it? With the film industry and how do they go about doing movies now, and all of that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
See, the question is, the entire entertainment industry is actually on a rest mode right now. I would call it hibernation mode, and you know they are
mm,
unable to work. So that's the reason Netflix is, as usual, Netflix is and Amazon are doing pretty well, and
yeah,
all these data providers, they are doing well because people are always sitting on their phones and trying to surf the internet. I think
mm,
YouTube has more subscribers than before.
yeah. It
And
wouldn't surprise me.
TikTok being banned in India, it's like it's taken an entertainment system out of the, Indian
Is it
country.
banned? It's banned now.
Yeah, it's banned now because of China and India relations. This country has banned, good amount of applications coming from
Wow.
China. You missed on that news. So lots of video editing apps, TikTok, which had, millions and millions of users, it's been banned. So people have switched to YouTube now,
Yeah.
and that's the way only to pass time in India, it seems. And while we are
Mm,
researching and trying to get into more topics to connect to people, I think
mm.
our job is different. We can't sit on YouTube all day, right?
Yeah. 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 No, I agree. You have to kind of improvise, don't you? You kind of have to change with the times in some way.
Mm-hmm. It is true.
I,
We have to change, and we have to try new things rather than just sitting glued to YouTube or any sort of videos. Yeah.
mm,
So, Adam, like as always, we start with a good start beginning. So
mm,
let's start with our first topic, which is very very interesting today, and
mm.
it really made me learn a lot while I read through, so that I could have some good things to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nature,
Yeah.
like we
Mm,
discussed, nature
mm,
is a part of us. I mean, human beings, we are a part of nature. We are the dwellers of nature, and we are
mm,
trying to exploit the nature in every ways to meet our requirements.
mm,
As all the resources comes from the Mother Earth, the planet Earth, and we are exploiting it and trying to make it a garbage bin, I would say. And we are not trying to realize what will happen in the future. So nature is something we are connected to, and we have a
mm,
close relationship. Human beings are actually dominating nature, and we are actually trying to rule over nature, whereas we have to live with it together. Now, the
mm,
food we eat, the air we breathe, and the water we drink, it's all coming from nature, right?
mm.
And what are we doing to the beaches? And what are we doing, to water, to oceans, to fossil fuels? We are trying to damage everything. We are polluting everything.
Mm.
And nature should be protected, should be conserved, so that we can live healthy, in a healthy environment. And as you see everything around, everything is nature. So why don't we use it wisely Why don't we use it in a manner wherein everybody can use it, not only some, right? Now, resources which comes from the surface of the earth are being exploited. Do you agree to me?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like, we do kind of spoil, like nature and the world, and like the Amazon rainforest, for example, trees being cut down. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. The oceans
Mm-hmm.
being polluted with plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, people dumping things. Like I know that during the pandemic, all the we have places called tips where people can take
Mm-hmm.
rubbish and things like that, and people
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go to them because it was closed. So they were just
Mm-hmm.
dumping it. They was dumping it on the roadside, rubbish and that and things like that. So yeah, we do exploit it, and I think we're part of nature, in the
Mm-hmm.
world, and we can't ruin it, can we?
So yeah, true. And we are dumping, our waste into the oceans, into the roads,
Mm.
everywhere. And these are being consumed by pets and stray dogs and animals, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it reaches us. And even when I was reading through, even the ocean surface, below the surface, there are lots of, garbage floating. Now, if you can relate to it, now these garbage, these things on in the ocean surface are being consumed by wildlife, right? Consumed
Mm.
by sea animals, and then it reaches us, because we do eat fish, right? We do eat, different type of sea animals, and it reaches us, and even the pets, even the like in India we have a lot of stray dogs, and they feed on garbages and everything. This has to be
Mm.
stopped, and
Mm.
they're getting ill, they're dying. The ecosystem is getting disturbed, and we are not trying to protect. Now, I always go with this motive: plant a tree. It gives us oxygen,
Mm.
and that plant and that tree gives us fruits and vegetables. So you're
Yeah.
getting everything in return. And today, to build the infrastructure, we're trying to cut them off. So we are cutting off oxygen supply.
Mm.
Instead of looking for oxygen in plants and trees, we are looking for oxygen in the hospital. This is what we discussed last time even.
Yeah.
So conservation is something that, everybody should be educated. So there are 3 R's, it has to be reused, recycled, and reduced, right?
Mm.
So if we reduce a lot of consumption, the consumption of things which is actually affecting the environment, affecting the nature, it's going to be helpful. And recycling everything, like in the Western countries, things are being recycled. Now, recycle is always good and always helpful for the environment, for nature, right? And planting trees always good, and conserving water, because I believe we are wasting water. We should always close the tap in a hotel washroom or in our personal bathrooms, no matter we are shaving. Now, when I was a child, I always used to read, in the railways and, in different magazines saying that when you shave, put off your tap, you're wasting water. Yeah, these are basics. These are basics how to conserve water. I mean, I'm not asking you to drink less, right? But actually conserve water so that people who are needing it in the drought, the drought places of the world, like, Gujarat in India, the scarcity of water in different parts of, the countries of the world, there's a huge scarcity of water. Now, how do we try to save it? People have to use it less, conserve it, and because water is our everyday need. We need water for everything. And it's a part of the nature. We forget air that we breathe. We are polluting it. 80% of the pollution in the bigger cities are all because of emissions. There's so many vehicles. We've not moved into electric vehicles, like all the big brands, big companies like Tesla. They're trying to manufacture electric vehicles. Now, this is going to make a big impact in the nature, the environment, and also climate.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think like the water, the water that we have, like people can abuse it by, sometimes not thinking about, when you're washing your hands or if you're having a shave, leave the water on. Even if you I think is a good point is when people are in hotels and things like that because they're like, well, I'm
Yeah,
not paying for it.
because yeah, Adam, at home we do put
Mm.
off our taps, yeah. But when we are in the hotels, we are careless. We what
Yeah.
do? We just keep the taps open. Now, even hotel is a part of this, in this society. It's a part of the world, right? Even they are
Mm.
using water. Even they have this rainwater harvesting technique. Now, rainwater harvesting technique is also there. There are a lot of ways. There are a lot of ways, but we are not trying to be careful. We are not trying to take care of other. That's why I said human beings they are dominating the environment. We are dominating nature. We try to dominate everything.
Mm.
Nature provides us everything, and we dominate the nature. Now, this is not right.
Mm.
And it's a very serious topic because people should understand the value of nature.
Mm.
Animals, plants, human beings, everybody, we belong to nature, right?
Mm.
A human being, because we can talk, we win the race. Because we are
Yeah.
educated, we win the race. Now we exploit things. We want to overdo it because our needs are never met, right, Adam? Our needs are never
Mm.
met. We want more. Even if we have $1,000 in our pocket, we want $10,000, right?
Mm.
For that, even if we have to exploit the environment, we would go and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think we've been doing it for years and years, and you only have to look at is it parts of America, in the rainforest where trees have been cut down and buildings are being brought into place. I mean, that's kind of in this country as well. There's lots of like land and trees that are being cut down for buildings to be built. Nature. There's nothing wrong with the trees. There's nothing wrong with the land. They just want the money. So they cut down the trees, tear up the ground, bang a few houses there, and it's all about profit and capitalism. In a larger sense. And there's that quote, isn't there? It's like a Native American quote, and it's like, when all the trees have all been cut down, then people will realize that money cannot be eaten or something like that.
Yes, yes.
It's like
that's very, very, very nice. That's very nice line. And imagine the tree behind you. It has been surviving from generations.
Mm.
They have seen your grandparents. They have seen your grandparents. They're seeing you, and they're going to see your children. Right? See the relationship. We forget the relationship of plants, trees, animals, and then human beings. We always try to be above everybody, and that's not right. That's not right, because we need to take care of everything. Now, if the plant was able to move just behind you and give you a hug, it was a different feeling, right?
Yeah.
Now that it's just beside you, standing, you could do anything. You can cut it down.
Yeah.
But it's breathing and giving you oxygen just right now, as fresh as anything. So that's very important. Yeah. So it is very, very important that we actually conserve, we protect our nature and spread the awareness. People should educate people. People should try to, tell people what's the importance of nature, use the resources properly, and ensure that everybody uses the nature in the right way, rather than just me, and not you. That's not right.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think it's 100%, right what you're saying, and I think that people need to, be aware, of their actions, and not just individuals like ourselves, but like corporations, and like I see a lot, a lot of businesses that use a lot of plastic or cardboard. Sorry, someone tried calling me.
No, that's all right. So
yeah,
plastic is a very important point. Now, plastic has been banned in India, and it's always banned in the Western places too, Western countries too. But we do have plastic in some of the other forms still being circulated in the market, right? So now it's very important to understand the right use and how to avoid plastic, because if any animals consume plastic, they die. If they do not decompose. Have you tried it ever? Burying a plastic bag in your garden and leaving it for
Yeah.
1 or 2 years or 3 years. Nothing happens.
Still, still there.
It's still the same.
Yeah,
So
they did. They
we
did
should
test.
we should understand, why are we misusing things? Even plastic comes out of nature, but nature doesn't want to take it back because it doesn't decompose.
Mm.
And most importantly is air. We are polluting it big time.
Mm.
And nobody knows the consequences. Too much of carbon monoxide, too much of carbon dioxide, we choke ourselves. Your lungs become weak. And your lungs become weak, you are corona friendly. This is what people have forgotten.
Mm.
If you become prone to corona, right? If your lungs are weak, your respiratory system, they're weak, you're very, very prone. So you should understand, you should actually understand the value of air, the value of food, and the value of water that we are actually getting from this nature. What do we give back to nature? We don't give anything back to nature. It's always a give and take thing in life, right? We take so many things from the nature. What do we give back? Nothing. That's the reason even nature is disappointed today with human beings.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like it is definitely a highlight. I think when the pandemic happened, they saw that levels of pollution went down. I think especially in China.
Yes.
They could see in Italy, they could see the water was clear in the canal. Lots of big changes, and I think the ozone layer was repairing as well. Lots of different factors. So I mean, yeah, we need to think about it, and things need to be put in place. How we go about things, because if it carries on the way it has been.
But Adam, when do we wake up? That's the question. When do we wake up? When is the wake up call? We can discuss it. We can make people aware of it. But when are people going to start thinking about nature? Today, tomorrow, or never? Today, tomorrow, or never. It is today. Now, if we plant a tree today, it will start giving you oxygen as soon as it grows, right? It doesn't wait. So why not plant a tree? Conserve water, right? Right use of water, no use of plastic bags, and educating people about nature and its value. It gives us a lot of things, but we don't give anything back to nature. So if we have to give something back to nature, just plant a tree. And if you plant a tree, it's a blessing. You're doing good, right? You're doing good.
Yeah.
Even, that tree will even give shade to you someday. Now it's raining. Where do we go? We actually go just below a tree. But when we cut that tree, we don't think about it. We just think about the wood it gives us, the money it gives us, the value it gives us. We forget that that tree was standing since a long time and knew history. It knew history of your city, of your place, of your family. But we just cut it down. Just to build something new, just to make money out of it, we cut that tree. That's not right. Instead, we should go and plant a tree. Anywhere. I think that's the best thing we could do actually to contribute to nature. Do you agree to me?
Yeah, no, of course I do agree. I think like businesses and corporations just want to, build and profit from the land, and they're not thinking about, the nature side of things. And I think, we need to, we can help by, planting trees, putting plants, even that's in our garden, if that's in, certain areas. And, those trees will grow, and then more will grow. And, the process of life, that's how it should be. That's how, people should think.
And we should always do something about nature. I mean, we forget that we all are part of this universe, right? We take energy from sun. We take energy from stars. We take energy from every, cosmic bodies outside, right? It's all in the nature. It's all happening around us. Now, when we have things around us, we should always respect things around us, right? Not exploit it. Human beings are very, very well known for exploiting things. Now, if there is an animal, right, we try to exploit an animal also. We try to tease an animal outside. We don't do it to our pets, but outside we do tease. It's a human being thing. But we should also realize even they survive. They're part of this nature. right? They are contributing to something. Now, as we discussed earlier also, everything has a role to play, right? We have to respect everything. Every living thing on this planet has to be respected. We are all a part of nature. I mean, human beings, why? Who are we? Are we super gods? No, we are not. The technology, the new ideas, the way we actually try to dominate people, we dominate the environment too. We dominate the nature too. The nature cannot tell us not to do something, right? But yes, now when everything is polluted, right? Water is polluted in the ocean, air is polluted due to pollution, everything is gone. And at the end of the day, we are becoming weaker because we are not getting things from the environment and nature that we were getting in the purest forms earlier. Now things are not as pure as it was before. Now, when our ancestors and our grandfathers and our parents were now aging and old, how come they're living a better life and a healthier life today? Because they had a cleaner environment, clean nature outside before.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Do you agree to my point?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's more production now than there was then. I think there's more cars, there's more emissions. There's like back then there was more land, there was more places you could go to. Whereas now it's like roads, buildings, houses. It's all production, which is just adding to the environment, and the air that we breathe.
So I think we should leave a message on this important topic that we actually had a very good discussion on, Adam. Is that we should always try to protect nature, protect Earth, and the values that we get from it. We should use the resources in the right amount and stop polluting the environment. Think about it. Use the cycle more than your vehicle. Start walking to your office. Yeah. Keep your cars at home. I know everybody has a good car in the UK. I think we can keep them in the port. So I think you should keep. I think people should keep them parked and start more on healthy habits. Like start walking. You become nature friendly. You can. Yeah. I know people who talks to trees. Yeah. And even Isaac Newton went and sat below the tree. He could have sat anywhere. Imagine gravity, that apple that fell down, it didn't go up, it fell down. Gravity. And from that tree, there were laws made. So now we have to respect that tree, thinking that every tree, Isaac Newton is sitting there.
Yeah.
We have to make sure, we have to make sure that we value things. We have stopped valuing things of nature. So I want to just leave this message to everybody. Plant a tree, don't see the benefit. You will get the benefit when it's time. Just please plant a tree.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good point. And I think, what you said is completely right and true. And I think like people, by doing that, by getting a plant, by planting a tree, by, being around nature, it will make you feel more grounded, and it kind of makes you it makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think about the future and future generations and how things evolve.
Your kids are going to see what that tree is going to contribute, or the plant is going to contribute, because even plants and trees take time to grow, right? Just like us, from small to big, then it starts giving fruits and it starts giving everything that we need. And what does it ask from us? Just water, nothing else. They manufacture their own food. What else? What if plants started eating us? Imagine that.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. Yeah. So today they manufacture their own food, so they're all cool. But what if they start eating human beings or animals? Everybody will be scared, and that time there will be no trees actually alive on this planet, I think.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
So let's respect trees. Let's respect nature. Let's pass on this message.
Mm.
Let's conserve. Let's protect. Let's make this nature pure for the future generations to come. It is our generations who will come and actually breathe the bad air that we left. Let's leave pure air for them. Let's leave pure water for them so that they do not need so many distillation systems and air purifiers in their houses, wherein we could just go outside in the balcony and breathe fresh air.
Yeah. No, exactly. I think you're right. I think, you know, we that's, you know, a good way to put it out there, you know, to think about your future generations and your kids, and you know, the way we can make a difference by, you know, recycling, not driving our cars, cycling, and you know, not adding to the problem.
Yeah. So I think we've covered good points here. What do you say? I think we've covered good points here, and I think many people will relate to this video. And I think it's good that we switched on from audio to video so that people can see and relate to us, and how much, you know, we can talk and spread the awareness to protect nature, protect planet, and protect you know, this entire universe, which is, you know, we are a part of. And the most amazing topic that we should immediately pick up after a serious topic is kids and technology. I think
of course.
When I was a kid, I remember playing brick game. Remember brick games?
Yeah.
The basic brick games, I still remember playing basic. Now it's in the form of an application on our smartphone. But when we were kids, that was my first entertainment system that I got in class 4. That's what I remember. And even that could give me a headache if I played it for a longer time. And now, when kids are glued, they're literally glued to, you know, cell phones and tablets, apart from personal computers. I mean, we were taught to be on personal computers and actually try and do some Google, try and research. Today, when the kids are sitting on a laptop or a personal computer, they straight away go and download a game. The first question is like, do you have this game on your system? Do you have this game on your phone? I mean, what's happening, Adam? What's happening? Is this everything all about games?
Well, I think as well, I mean, it's definitely exploded. I mean, years ago, you could get a game it was just on your computer, whereas now you can have that on your phone, you can have it on your tablet, you can have it on a PlayStation. And games are fun, you know, but I think it's that balance of how much you play those games. I mean, kids nowadays, they're given screens, and, you know, they're given screens at a young age. You know, I told you before, I've worked in restaurants and I've sat around a table and they've plonked a tablet in front of their kid. And the kid's like, you know, playing it, and they're not even talking to the kid. And then the kid's gonna grow up, you know, thinking that's the norm. And then they become addicted. So they're growing up and they're just always glued to screens, always needing a screen. And I think, you know, technology is great, you know, games are great, but it's that balance of how much you use it and when you give it to your kids, or if you give it to your kids.
And why do we give kids tablets or phones when they are about to eat? How does it come into practice? I don't know. Like when we were kids, we ate. We were beaten to eat. We were scolded. We were scolded to eat. We were not given something as a device on our phones. Like, hey, listen, look at this and eat. No, that's not how it works. And due to this, the mental system, the kids are getting weaker from their brains now. They've forgotten how to think wisely. Now, when you actually relate everything to just games, you know what happens, right? And technology can be used wisely, like research, like a lot of things, like Wikipedia. But when it's not used wisely, specifically in the form of games and applications, those which are not important for a child's life, when he's in this very important growing years, where every parent wants their child to be intelligent because there is a jungle waiting outside. There is a jungle waiting outside. There's this world waiting outside when you finish school and college. You go out, you have to fight. No games will help you. What will help you is wisdom. How much of your brain can actually take things outside. how much you can, actually counter people. You know how it is outside, right? Remember your
Mm.
first job? I remember
Yeah.
my first job. Everybody was on top of me as if, some animal has come to the system.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to bully you. Everybody tries to ask you different sort of questions. But where does games and this bad technology plays a role? I don't know. I mean, at least not with kids.
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree. I think like, playing games, it's not, doesn't really prepare you for real life. Through real life, you build social skills, you build experiences. Like you said, when you have your first job, I mean, I remember mine. I was in a restaurant, and I felt really nervous. Like you said, people are saying things to you, ask questions. So you kind of, you're thrown out your comfort zone, and yeah, I think it needs to be, like playing games. It needs to be like, or just technology and screens, and giving your kids a book instead, talking to your children, engaging with them. People give their kids screens to like, shut them up because they're like distracted by it when they're having their meal. That's something I've seen heavily, in this country and in the States. But I remember when I spoke to you last time, you said like in your tradition, in your culture, you engage with your family members, you talk about your day. It's a really
Yeah.
big thing.
What I believe, but what I believe in our country, when we sit on the dining table, we discuss certain things. What happened in the day, what's planned for tomorrow. That's a very healthy thing. Now imagine every family member sitting in the dining table has tablets in front of them and they're talking to the tablets and they're playing games while eating. How will it look?
I've seen it. It's bad.
Yeah, you've seen it. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about adults. I'm talking about adults now, because you're teaching these kids to actually see something and eat. So they're learning this and they're going to take this in the future too. They want to see something while they're eating. Right? Now we need a television while we eat. Whereas we should be having a family get together, eating together, laughing together, merrymaking, because life is all about being around family. And this technology is denting every part of family, right? Just imagine, there's this game called PUBG, right?
Yeah.
And I want to mention, because half of India, the young people, they're glued to PUBG in the night and sleeping in the daytime. It's the highest amount of downloads. It has the highest number of downloads in India, I think, apart from any games, if I'm wrong, if I'm correct. I don't know. So why do we build games to actually generate addiction? I don't know. Games should be entertaining. And people are also having bad eyesight due to playing a lot of games. They're forgetting that the closer you go to your screen, your retina is actually being affected. We forget it's a human eye. We forget everything and we are busy playing. We're playing as if we are winning a World Cup. So I think it's time that, technology should be used wisely. Parenting is appropriate. Before we had these PlayStations, we have it now as well. So the parents had restricted a time for 1 hour, half an hour, you play and you go home, you go study and then you eat and rest, right? Now you have it on the phone or a tablet. So there's no restriction.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. No, that's it.
So there's no restrictions, right? So I think kids should be actually told that, use things wisely, because it's not giving them any benefit. How does getting stuck to games or applications which is not helpful to you, how does it help the kids? I know adults, we have the right to actually choose what is right and wrong and which application we have to use, right? Now, kids, they do not know. We have pop-ups coming through the internet, and internet is a big marketplace. It's a big marketplace wherein they're looking for vulnerable users to actually download your application, right? Now you download that application, you have an access to your data. And now that data is accessible to all. This is what people have forgotten in many countries, in many parts of our country as well, that everything is about data, right? You exchange. Now, when we go to a game, we have to make sure that you log in with your Facebook. Now, your Facebook is vulnerable. You agree?
I agree. I think, our data is used for like, a lot of different things now. Even if you know, like you want to go on a game, you have to sign into Facebook, you have to sign into your email, you have to pass on some kind of information. And I think, like, you know, children with video games. I mean, I played video games growing up, and I still play them now. But now I know I'm aware of the concept of time now. You know, and I'm a bit older. So before, when I was younger, I used to spend hours on the game. Whereas now I know that it's not good. You know, one, because of your eyesight, your health, your physical health, you just sat all the time. So, you know, it's that balance, isn't it? And, you know, children could be given a book, they could be spoken to, they could be taken somewhere. You know, I think it's something as well, because these games, they get the graphics and the picture in the games are getting better and better and better. And it almost lures people in because the graphics are so amazing. But that's all kind of done to get your attention.
Yeah, you are lured easily and you're trapped. Even if you go to a Facebook and even if you click something, you know, you have some, now even games are advertising on Facebook and all sorts of social media because they want you to download that application. We forget this information. People should get this information right, that we forget that they want you to download the game and get used to it. And today games are very addictive. It wasn't like, you know, earlier days. Earlier, we always were looking for a new CD or a new version or a new game, right? Now things have changed. We are actually in that one specific game for months. I don't know, we are trying to make our own clan. Clash of Clan is very addictive again in India. PUBG is very addictive in India. And Fortnite. It is fine to play games. It is very good. You know, your brain needs some sort of entertainment. If it's in the form of games, it's fine. But there's always a limit to it. There's always a limit to it, and there's always a time frame. This specific time is meant for you to spend on technology. Like we are using technology wisely to go on a video call and trying to, you know, make people aware. Now, people who can benefit from it will definitely benefit. Some would call it like as if, you know, like we are anti-games, but we are not. Even I play games when I have to, but I know which game, what time, and I shouldn't play before I close my eyes at night because it's actually hurting my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like, you know, as we grow up, we kind of, you know, like I said, balance it out. And we know the health effects and the benefit, you know, and the benefits it has, you know, to entertain ourselves. But you know, as kids, I don't think kids have that kind of concept of time because they're young. They get addicted to it. They want it now. It's like it's some, you know, my brother plays video games, and you know, if I turn it off, I'm like, you know, he's going to bed. I'm like, look, I need to turn it off now. And if I turn it off, you know, the kids go ballistic. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's like, you know, it might be 11 o'clock. You know, meant to be going to bed. So, yeah, I think it's heavily important. And I think, you know, kids need to be taught about that. Kids need to be educated on the benefits and, you know, the benefits and the health problems that can occur if you're not balancing it out. Yeah, no, I think it's a really important topic. Yeah, I think it's really important.
And it is important that, you know, parents know that what the kids want. Why are they being just glued to games? What happened? Why are they just stuck to their tablets or phones? Because it's very important, you know, that to understand your child and what they want and what is disturbing them. Why are they wanting to just be glued to games? What is it? So it's all about we trying to educate these kids to use things wisely, and make sure that, you know, they don't overdo it, which is affecting them, the society, their upbringing. Who wants people, you know, who wants kids to be, you know, thrown back from the society or amongst their friends, because, you know, you become dull if you're too much into technology. If you're too much into all these games, you become dull from your brain. You forget thought process. You stop thinking. You just want to play games, nothing else. I mean, games does not give you jobs outside, does it? I mean, if there was a game that if you cross this level, you would get a job, then I would play.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I would play. So it's about, yeah, using it for time. And parents are actually who are giving the phone to the kids. When in India,
Mm,
Adam, if you actually, if I may say, I have seen out of 10, okay, out of 10, 9 parents give their phones to the child when they actually eat food or eat the
mm,
meat.
yeah,
There's this very famous game called a very famous game. This part of, I don't know what is it, Coco Melon. You must have heard about it.
yeah.
All the kids, all the kids are watching it while eating food. I think even kids should not be given access to television when they're eating food.
Mm,
In fact, teach them. In fact, talk to them. In fact, try to make them understand. In fact, teach them names, teach them something. The
mm,
parenting is directly responsible. If you are a
mm,
good parent, how were we raised when we were kids?
mm,
We were always kept away from television. We were given a time that you can watch it only from this time. In
mm,
India, we were given a time and we should always only watch television at that specific time. It
mm,
wasn't like now. Anytime, anytime during the day, sleeping or waking up. Exactly like smartphones. Smartphones have become our best friends, and our best friends have become just like an application on our phone.
mm, mm. Yeah. No, that's definitely makes you think, doesn't it? Like that's how things used to be. Like television, was on. Because I know in this country, television, like it used to go off. People were watching. I
Mm-hmm.
think they played like the national anthem at like 10
Mm-hmm.
o'clock, and then the TV would go off. There was no more channels. And it was like you had
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 channels, and it would just cut off, and then it'd be like a little
Mm-hmm.
dot on the screen because that was it. Whereas like now, you said you can
Oh yeah, yeah, the
see
dot
whatever you
things on
want.
the screen. Yes, yes, I do remember. Yeah, I used to think there were ants moving in the screen. Too much of dots.
Yeah, yeah,
That was when we were growing up, and I think that was good. Nothing's coming on the TV, so you don't watch it, right? If something's
yeah,
coming, you want to watch it. It's like we always want. The want
mm,
in human beings is dominating everything. Now we
mm,
have a
mm,
game. Imagine you and I download a game, and we start playing it. We want to play it more and more. The
mm,
want increases; it never decreases. So we
mm,
have to control the want. Now, even if when we're trying to eat a pizza outside, we want to eat more.
mm,
The
mm,
want never ends. So the want of using technology never ends. We should make sure that we use it wisely
mm,
so that
yeah,
everybody benefits from technology. Use it for
mm,
research, use it for reading, use it for comparison. You can do a comparative study and try to make sure that it's used wisely. Now, giving an access of internet to children is also very dangerous at the right age.
mm,
If you're not at the right age and you give an access to internet and Wi-Fi to children, they are not benefiting from it. They're actually, they're not using it wisely. We're actually losing a lot of things. Do you agree
mm.
to that?
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I think like, we do need to use it wisely. We need to use it for, you know, studies and, there's a lot of benefits to technology. If you want to find something out, you can Google it and find out. You can do an essay, you can do some research work and then build a case, like a case study and then upload that to a website, which are then going to use it, or you could upload it to a magazine. There's lots of
Mm-hmm.
benefits. Start a blog, like podcasting, this, what we're doing right now. There's lots of benefits. So, people need to think about how they use it. Technology isn't a bad tool. It's the person that, it's how the person uses it, isn't it? Really.
Mm-hmm. And it is very, very important, like, parents, how they teach, their children, how to use technology, how to use
Mm,
internet, how to use phones, how to use tablets, what are the benefits, what are the disadvantages. Because
mm,
tomorrow, if your children are more glued to technology than you, then how do you build a family? How do they listen to you? They will
mm,
never listen to you when you tell them to do something. Now, if you tell
mm,
somebody, go eat your dinner at 8 p.m. and they're busy playing a game, they would not listen to you. They would play
mm,
the game.
yeah. No, I agree. It's
So
definitely.
because we got them addicted, right? We gave them the phone while they were eating, and now we are telling them to eat and leaving the
Mm,
phone. Will they listen to you? No.
mm,
We gave them the phone while they were eating, right? Now they
mm,
have the phone. Why will they eat? They will first play, finish the game, and then they will give importance to food, which is very important. The priority becomes technology over food. Now, this is affecting everybody. It also affects your health, your mental state. Depending on technology to live is wrong. We should rather depend on people around, because it's people who can share, it's people who can help you learn, it's how we educate, make each other aware of things, and it's parents who give those, and parents are giving them phones. Take phones. No, that's wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree. I couldn't agree more. We need to, like I said, just be very, very careful how we go about things, because once you put that, say for example the phone, you give the kid that phone, then they're all, from that moment onwards, they're always going to be used to that and always wanting that. It's like if you give your kid ice cream after dinner, they're always going to be wanting that ice cream after dinner.
Yeah, it's all in the cycle, like what we get used to. Now, brushing your teeth in the morning, we were told to brush teeth in the morning, right? So we followed it. Brushing our teeth before sleeping, we were told to do that, right? Now we're giving a phone to our children and saying that use the phone while eating. It's a gone case. It's a complete gone case. Now, as we discussed, technology, internet has every sort of information which is not meant for growing children, right? It could be anything. So restricting them and trying to give an access for a limited period of time and ensuring that they benefit from technology, they benefit from smartphones and tablets, is the responsibility of parents, rather than getting away of their responsibility of getting more time to feed them. They actually give them a phone, because if you give a phone, they're busy playing the game and you're busy feeding them, right? This is how it happens. Instead, talk to them, give them more time, and see, they become better human beings. They grow better, right? So this is what's happening. I think this is what message I want to pass on to everybody who's watching us, that, technology, parenting, smartphones, games, applications, Facebook, Instagram, everything is interrelated, but there is a right age for it. And if that age is right, they can have an access to everything. Now, if we are 18 years old, we can have an access to everything, right? So everything should happen at the right time in life so that we have a phase of growing. We can't become adults when we are 10 years old because we have an access to everything on our phone, right? So we misuse it and we don't know what's happening next. So there are a lot of traps also, a lot of scams also online. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very, very careful of what we do, whom do we talk to, who do we connect on online, or sitting on different social media. Because kids are also using a lot of social media to connect to people, and they're connecting to random people in the world and they don't know who are they. This is wrong. Now, 10 years, 12 years having Facebook accounts, I don't know what Mark Zuckerberg is doing. I do not know. Where is his authentication system and the verification process? I do not know. So not only games, even social media, parents should actually bar their kids to use social media, at a certain age, and make sure that they get into it at a certain age wherein they can benefit and connect to people whom they know, not unknown people who can actually dent in different ways. There are a lot, you don't know who's sitting on social media. Even I don't know. If I get a friend request, I accept it, and I don't know what they're doing. They can try to hack your computer, do anything, because everybody is not a techie person, right? Now, if there's a software engineer, you give him your phone, he can take out every data from your phone. So data, what data, value of data is, and everybody in the world is learning what data is. And just by downloading anything, any application or something, we're giving access to the company, to everybody, to actually use your data in any way.
Yeah. No, I think, like you said, people, it's not just games and video games and things like that. It's social media is a big one as well. And I've found that on Instagram and LinkedIn, people try and connect with you, and you look on their profile and it just says, not very much information. You can just tell if that's a fake account or if it's just a random one. But you don't know who that person is until you actually engage with them.
And why do we have to connect to people who are fake? We think we are very smart, Adam. We think we are very, very smart. But at the end of the day, we forget that there are smarter people sitting there.
Yeah.
We always forget. There is smart, smarter, and smartest. We think we are the smartest, but at the end of the day, we'll end up being dumb. Yeah? One small mistake over the internet could actually hit you hard. And we should be very careful with every friend request, every connect, every professional connect. We should be very careful of when we click the accept buttons. And we have to ensure that using technology wisely is very, very important, and always seek advice from elders because they know better than us, right? And always help our children learn from technology, learn from the internet, rather than harm them in different forms. That's all I would want to say here on this topic.
Yeah, no, I think you put it, in a nutshell, how it should be put. I agree with you. I think, people need to be aware of, what they're doing.
Yes, they should. Everybody who uses the phone should know the benefits and should know the disadvantages too. The advantages and the disadvantages. So before you press that accept button, think twice. Could it harm you? Could it benefit you? If it could harm you, click the no button and move on. Never given access to anybody on your phone over the internet. The data can be circulated, can be used against you, can be done anything. So very, very careful of what we do, because everything is in our hands today. Before we used to go to a cyber cafe to access internet. Today, it's on our phones, on our tablets, on our computers, and we are not wise enough to make a choice because we think every application is good, every game is good, but we don't know the disadvantage, what it can do to us and the society and the family.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really agree. Yeah, no, you're right. I think, people just need to be careful and just be educated really on how to be careful online, because people, like you said, anyone can access it, and it's like, off you go and you're away. A bit like, for example, like you can buy a boat, in this country, you can buy a boat. You don't need a license. You don't need any training. You can just buy a boat and go off into the ocean. So it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
So it's about the same thing. So people need to be educated on it, or think before they do it. Look at the negatives as well. Yes.
So I think it's great. I think it's great, Adam. I think we've actually touched both the topics in a great way, and this video should actually relate to many who watch this, because we've picked up things from the environment, nature, kids, technology, parenting. Everything is in one basket, and it's a positive message, right?
Yeah.
We have a clear motive to be positive and pass on this message to everybody, that whatever we do should be done in limits. If it's done in limits, we benefit. And as it crosses the limit, it's harmful. And it's up to you to choose the right way, right direction, right parenting and everything. Because at the end of the day, those kids are going to be parents tomorrow, and they have to train people and kids, right? So it's all there. It's all there in the community. It's all there in the upbringing. It's all there. Things are there. Use it wisely. Benefit from it. That's all I would say.
Yeah. No, exactly. I think, like you said, people need to use it wisely, and even if they're not being educated on it, they'll have to learn for themselves, won't they? Their own way.
Yes. So I think Adam, we should wrap it up here.
Yeah, of course.
Because the length of the video has been pretty good now. And we have touched, I think, amazing topics. And I hope you get a good response. I hope you give me a good feedback too. And I will not take much of your Sunday evening. I know how Sunday evening is celebrated in the UK. So I know. So I know you're all set to go out somewhere for a drive, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
And so you have a great evening ahead. And
yeah,
let's see what kind of response we get from this one. I hope you
yeah, yeah,
enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah. I enjoy. I always enjoy our chats all the time.
That's audio. This is video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I enjoy
This is,
both. Yeah, it's
you
good.
enjoy both. Okay, great, great, Adam. Thank you so much, and have a
No, you're
great
very
evening
welcome.
ahead. Yeah, thank you so much, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you and share our experiences, which can value people, help people do better in life.
Yeah. No, you're very, very
Yeah,
welcome, Sarfaraz. And, it's very good to talk to you on video. It's good to connect with you again. I always enjoy our chats, and, I think a lot can be taken from it. And you're
yeah.
welcome.
Even I learned a lot, Adam. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank
No,
you.
no, you're welcome. Anytime, anytime.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Take
Thank you.
care. All the best, Sarfaraz.
Take care.
Have a good
Bye
day.
bye. Yeah,
See you
thank
later.
you. You
See you in a
too.
bit,
You
man.
too. Bye bye. Yeah.